Om Tat Sat. Today we enter into verse number 3 from the Rudrāṣṭakam. Please ensure that you're seated at a silent place in your house or in your puja room, as this is our prayer for the one that we love the most, Shiva. So ensure that your prayer is perfect, without any distractions and with complete surrender. The best place to sit is on the floor, inside a puja room, or anywhere you have no disturbance. And just close your eyes and listen. Today's third verse goes like this. Śrī Rātri Sādhanā Gauram Gabhiram Manobhuta Koti Prabha Shri Shariram Sphuran Maulikalolini Charuganga Lasad Bhala Balendu Kanthe Bhujanga. What does it mean? Śrī Rātri Sādhanā Gauram Gabhiram. Śrī Rātri, like the snow-clad mountains. In a mountain, when constant snow falls, how beautiful it appears. Like that. Śrī Rātri, resembling in that way. That is why the word Sankasha is used next. Śrī Rātri together becomes Śrī Rātri. And then Sankasha, resembling or shining. Śrī Rātri here refers to the snow-covered mountain, traditionally understood as the Himalaya or the Kailasa, which is pure, unmoving and resplendent. Sankasha means resembling or appearing like. By this expression, Bhagavan Shiva is described as shining with a radiance comparable to a snow-clad peak. He appears to be like a beautiful snow-clad peak. That is why Śrī Rātri, the snow mountain, resembling Sankasha, Gauram, radiant, luminous. Gaura here does not merely indicate the color. It signifies purity, clarity, and serene brilliance, untainted by heat, passion, or disturbance. Just as a snow on a mountain remains cool and luminous, untouched by the turbulence below, Bhagavan Shiva abides in absolute purity and calm. So like a snow upon a mountain, which is never disturbed by the turbulence that happens below the mountains. If you see, the tectonic plates as they meet, the mountains keep growing. But that does not disturb, or any kind of a disturbance that takes place does not disturb the snow upon the mountain. It remains pure, beautiful. In a similar way, we should see our life. So this we saw through the perspective of our divine Shiva. Whatever happens in this world cannot shake him. Whatever takes place in this creation cannot disturb him, because he is the very support for all the mountains, for every beings here. In our life, Tushara, the snow, can be our thoughts. Remember the reason why we are doing the study of the Rudrāṣṭakam? To purify our antakarana. Our thoughts are like the snows. Tusharadri, they keep falling upon us. Thoughts of the world, thoughts of family, thoughts of society. Why me? Why am I going through this? What is the reason for my suffering? There are so many questions which keep arising as thoughts. We may not necessarily have the answers for all these questions. But there is one answer which answers all these questions. Isham Girisham. Surrendering to Him is the only way out. When you surrender to Isham, He becomes your Girisham. Like a mountain, He protects you. We may not be able to have control over the thoughts that we have. They keep coming based on our experiences. But there is one thing we have control over. Isham Girisham. Surrendering to Girisha. Isha, the Shiva. This will help us to remain calm in all circumstances of our life. And our thoughts will become calm, cool, just like a snow upon a mountain, without disturbing us. So for the devotee, this becomes a source of solace, that, oh Bhagavan, my dear Shiva, the one whom I love the most, your presence cools the burning of my mind. Like the snow-clad mountain, you remain pure and serene, even when the world below is restless. Even though the world is restless, He is always steady, perfect. That is why we call Him Tusharadri, Sankasha, resembling, who is never disturbed, Gauram, radiant and luminous, Gabhiram, He is deep, unfathomable. Gauram is that radiance upon a mountain, which is shining. Similarly, when you surrender to Him, your life will become radiant. And slowly, you will realize that whatever is happening in your life is becoming Gabhiram. Gabhira means deep. There are so many things which we cannot understand. And it is immeasurable. Beyond human thoughts. We will see this in both the perspective, in the perspective of Bhagavan Shiva and our life. When we surrender to Him, our life becomes glorious. And when we meditate upon Him, we realize that He is beyond the mind. Gira Jnana Gotitam Isham Girisham. He is beyond words, beyond thoughts. That is why we call Him as Gabhiram. Bhagavan Shiva is full, complete. Even through devotion, even through trying to understand Him, the more and more deeper we go into our sadhana, we realize He is truly Gira Jnana Gotitam. Because He is beyond speech. So the only way out is Isham Girisham. We bow down to you, my dear Ishvara, who as a Girisha always supports me. As a mountain, powerful, you powerfully protect me. So that is what this first line means. So we will see this in both, we saw this in both the perspective, through the perspective of Shiva. When you meditate upon his image, he looks glorious. He is like a mountain who can never be shaken. Like the snow falling upon the mountain is not disturbed by the turbulence below it. Similarly, whatever happens in this creation will not disturb the devotee of the great Shiva. When we surrender to him, you become Gabhiram. You also become deep and powerful. And our thoughts are Tushara, like the snow, constantly falling. When you see if there's a snowstorm, the snow keeps falling upon the mountain non-stop. Similarly, the thoughts in our antakarana, constantly. Thoughts of the world, thoughts of this, thoughts of that. Why me? Why now? Why such a circumstances? Oh Shiva, aren't you listening to me? All these. It is now time to pause. And just remember, Isham Girisham. Oh Shiva, I have fully surrendered to you, my divine Shiva. I'm not going to question anything. Just help me to purify my thoughts. I'm not going to ask anything. Help me to purify my thoughts. Śrī Rātri Sādhanā Gauram Gabhiram. So the prayer heard is with our eyes being closed. O luminous one, who's calm and serene like the snowy peaks, soothe my heart and make me free from worries and miseries. Make me free from thoughts about the world. Purify these thoughts like a snow, which is untainted, pure. Help me to always meditate upon you, dear Shiva. What is the point of thinking about the world? I have tried in this entire birth. I have tried all thoughts, tested them, and I realize nothing comes close to Isham Girisham. You, dear Shiva. So help me to purify my thoughts. That is my request here. And remember, we don't ask for anything. We only ask. Śiva Rātri Sādhanā, like a mountain having snows constantly, O Shiva, purify my mind. The snow being the thoughts, and I request you to purify my thoughts. That's my only request. Not asking for anything else. Next line is Mano Bhuta Koti Prabha Śrī Shariram. Mano Bhuta generally signifies the mind-born one, or referring to Kama, which is Mano Bhuta, refers to Kamadev, the deity of desire, who is said to be born of the mind. But Kama, generally the term itself does not always mean Kamadev. It can also mean beautiful, spectacular, glorious. Such levels of beauty that cannot be expressed in words, due to why we tell them as Koti. Koti means beyond what the words can describe. Crores, or millions. If you don't use the terminology crores, you can use it as millions or billions and trillions. Innumerable. Cannot be described by words. Mano Bhuta Koti. Millions of times are his beauty. Prabha, his radiance, just meditating upon his divine form. Śrī Shariram, whose form, body is auspicious and resplendent. Remember, Nirakaram Omkara. He does not have a form. Yet, he comes in a form for us to meditate upon. So that is why whenever you do meditation, meditate on the beautiful form of Shiva or the Shiva Linga. And when you meditate on his divine and beautiful form, Mano Bhuta, the mind is captivated by that beauty of his. How many times? Millions of times. Koti. Mano Bhuta Koti. Prabha. He captures the radiance. Śrī Shariram. For the devotee, O Bhagavan, what the mind seeks as beauty finds its fulfillment and transcendence in you. See, imagine how many beautiful things we have seen in this world. Beautiful constructions, beautiful houses, lake, river, ocean, mountain. But how long can you stare at it? How long can you look at it? Half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, and then you get tired. But Isham, Ishvara, our divine Shiva, the one whom we cannot live without, is so beautiful that when you meditate upon him, you can meditate for the whole day. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. For your whole life. A day is nothing. When you meditate upon Shiva, not 1 or 2 hours, his divine form is such Prabha, its radiance. Śrī, auspicious. Shariram, spectacular is his form. So this verse or this line specifically conveys how glorious it is to meditate on His divine form. Now connecting this with the previous line, Tusharādri Sankāsha Gauram Gabhiram. So when you meditate on His divine form, all your thoughts, like which enter in your mind like snow, will be purified. Like a snow falling upon a mountain. You cannot say there's only 10 snow falling, 20 falling. If you've seen a snowfall, it keeps coming down. Like this are thoughts of the world. But they become purified when? Mano Bhuta Koti. When we start attracting ourselves. When we start generating a desire, oh Shiva, I have tried everything. I have seen beauty in everything, in people, but it fades away. In objects, that also goes away. In the world, this also has an end. But now I wish to be attracted to such a beauty that does not end. So who is that? Prabha, who's so radiant. Shri, auspicious. Shariram, you alone. Hence, I meditate upon your divine form. That is what this line means. This is not just His physical beauty, but His divine splendor. When you just meditate upon His image, right? Like as you're seated either in your puja room or anywhere in a silent place, or even looking at the screen, do you see the image of Shiva? Meditate on that image. Look at Him alone. While you listen, it is He alone who's teaching you. No human being can teach you. No human being can make you understand this divine wisdom. He alone is teaching all of us. I learn from Him, you learn from Him, we all learn from Him. That is why when you meditate on His divine form, not on any other human being, only Shiva, He brings auspiciousness in your life. Shri. All types of auspiciousness, such as what is bothering you? How will I pay my loans? How will I pay my bills? These are nothing. When you attract His grace, all these things which were bothering you will go away. But remember, it should not be a fake surrender. So fake surrender does not work. The problem is we can't cheat Him. It's easier to fool the world, but not the one that we love the most, because He is also an Antaryamin. He is within us. So if you truthfully close your eyes now for the prayer, oh Shiva, my dear Shiva, the one whom I love the most, I have told you that I have surrendered to you many, many times in the past. But unfortunately, I constantly kept failing because I was always attracted to Mano Bhuta. My attraction, my karma was towards the world. Koti, millions and millions of times. So powerful that I had almost forgotten you. But now, through your grace, through your will, I am again able to come back and meditate on the truest Prabha. Prabha, who's radiant, the beauty of all beauties. Shri, whose true auspiciousness, meditating upon you, gives me no ill feelings, gives me only Shri, auspiciousness, surrender, calm, peace. Shariram, that is how glorious is your form. Mano bhuta koti prabha Shri Shariram. So with your eyes closed, our prayer now is, O dear Shiva, whose beauty surpasses all that the mind longs for, turn my desires, turn my passion, turn all that is disturbing my mind towards you. O graceful Shiva, let your presence purify my mind and my heart. Just like a snow falling upon a mountain, Tusharadri Sankasha Gauram Gabhiram Mano Bhuta Koti Prabha Shri Shariram. Mano Bhuta. Let the mind now be attracted only to this, only to you. Koti. Because if I get attracted to you, Prabha, all kinds of auspiciousness. Shri Shariram, they enter into my life. With your eyes closed, pray that now my mind should be attracted to you, Shiva. Next, we move to the next line, which is Spuran Mauli Kallolini Charu Ganga. Spuran here means pulsating, gently shimmering. Spuran suggests a living radiance, a subtle pulsation or a luminous presence that trembles with life rather than standing inert. It conveys movement within stillness, as though light itself was breathing. Mauli refers to the crown of the head, especially the exalted crest of Bhagwan Shiva, adored with his matted locks. So here we see Spuran, shimmering, flashing or shining. Mauli, the crown of the head. How does he get the crown on the head? Because of his beautiful hair which is matted. His hair acts like a crown. If you see the image of dear Shiva, you get to see that his head itself is like a beautiful crown. So, Spuran Mauli Kallolini. So this is together, Kallolini. When we use it in a rhythm, we should ensure that the full word here is used. Kallola, in fact, is the exact word for Kallolini. Kallola means flowing in waves, like the river goddess Ganga. When the river flows, it flows in beautiful waves. That is why we call it as Kallola. But since Ma Ganga, Devi, is feminine aspect, so the word becomes Kallolini. So Ini is just that the feminine aspect. So when we pronounce it, you cannot say Kallo, pause and Lini, it will become incorrect. We can only split words when there are two words. But here it is just one word. For example, if you remember in the previous session, Gotita Misham, we made it Gotitam Isham, because these were the two words which were made one, became Gotita Misham. So in our rhythm, we made it Gotitam Isham Girisham. But here in Kallolini, we cannot make it Kallolini. For a prefix, you cannot separate the word. So it will go like this. Spuran Mauli Kallolini Charu Ganga. Spuran is flashing, gently shimmering. Mauli is the crown of the head, which is beautifully formed because of his wonderful hair, Jata. Kallolini is the flowing in waves by the river goddess Ganga, who flows through her beautiful hair, who supports the flow of her. Kallolini means flowing in waves, suggesting movement that is rhythmic and continuous. And Charu, the word Charu, adds the sense of beauty and grace. Ganga, flowing upon Bhagavan Shiva's head, is thus described as beautiful, wave-like stream which is alive, luminous and gentle. Here it carries a deep meaning. Ma Ganga represents purity, grace and divine descent. Though her force is immense, when she rests upon Shiva's head, her flow becomes calm and beneficent. Bhagavan absorbs her power without disturbance and releases her gently for the welfare of the world. In this way, Shiva stands as the perfect mediator between transcendence and creation, receiving the overwhelming force of the divine and making it accessible. See, for example, and the word Ganga refers to the river Ganga. How the river Ganga flows beautifully through the divine Shiva's matted hair. He supports it. Her flow is so powerful that the earth can become destroyed. The creation can become destroyed. So Shiva accepts her and gracefully allows her to flow. Anything which touches Shiva becomes pure, calm, resplendent. So how do we see this line in our life? Our mind, which is so powerful, which is extremely disturbing us. We should know that we should sit and meditate on the divine feet of Shiva. But the mind keeps going back to the world. It is very, very powerful. So how can we control the flow of this powerful mind? Connect it, meditate on the image of Shiva. Otherwise, it will become very difficult. How can we calm down this mind? When your mind meditates on his image, it is like the touch of Ganga. When the river goddess Ganga touches the crown, the head of Shiva, her flow becomes calm. Similarly, when your mind starts meditating upon the image of Shiva, your thoughts become calm, your emotions become calm. Just like us listening to the Rudrāṣṭakam now, just close your eyes. Spuran maulikallolini charu Ganga. With our eyes closed now, this is our prayer. O Shiva, my dear Shiva, just like in the Gita, chapter 6, Arjun questions to Shri Krishna, O Shri Krishna, the mind is so powerful. It appears that it can never be controlled. It is like a wind, which is so powerful and very difficult to be controlled. I feel it's impossible to control the mind. And Shri Krishna tells to Arjun, the dear Arjun, yes, the mind is always difficult to control, but it is not impossible. With the help of Abhyasa and with the help of Vairagya, you can bring it under control. What is Abhyasa? Repeated practice. So my prayer to you, O dear Shiva, is I wish to repeatedly meditate on your form. Give me the strength. I am creating this intention today. This is my free will. I am creating an intention, a desire. Spuran maulikallolini charu Ganga, to meditate on your divine form. So I can become like Ganga, who flows without disturbance. But before she touched your head, she was always turbulent. But the day she touches your head, due to your grace, she becomes calm. So like this, help me to always bring an abhyasa of meditating upon your divine form. Prabha Shri Shariram. So I can attract all auspiciousness by meditating upon your form. Vairagya is detachment. Detachment means Mano Bhuta Koti. I have tried everything in this world. Attracted to people, attracted to objects, attracted to wealth, attracted to name, fame, but they all are short-living. So now, after realizing all this, automatically I am becoming detached. Not forceful detachment. Mano Bhuta Koti. I have realized you are the only glorious beauty here. Beyond you, there is nothing else. Prabha Shri Shariram. Hence, I now meditate upon you alone as you captivate my mind. With your eyes closed, this is our prayer. Mano Bhuta Koti. Prabha Shri Shariram. Spuran Maulikalolini Charuganga. When I meditate upon your form, the flow of my thoughts become like the flow of the river Ganga, calm and serene. Lasad bhala balendu kanthe bhujanga. The final line now, which is a very beautiful line. It's like a complementary to all the previous words. Lasat. So lasad, in its root word is lasat. Shining, gently radiant. Bhal, forehead. Bala Indu. So Balendu is Bala Indu. The young crescent moon. Kanthe, at the neck. Bhujanga, there's a beautiful serpent, a snake. So what does this mean? Lasad bhala balendu. Lasad indicates a soft, living radiance, not a harsh brilliance. Bhala is the forehead, which is the seat of awareness and command. Bala Indu refers to the young crescent moon, tender, cool and newly risen. The crescent moon shining on Bhagavan Shiva's forehead signifies serenity, gentleness, and the soothing of heat. The moon governs, in fact, the mind and emotions placed upon Shiva's brow. It shows that the mind itself is brought into perfect balance and repose in his presence. This is not mere ornamentation. It conveys that Bhagavan is the master of time marked by the moon's phases and the pacifier of mental agitation. What waxes and wanes for others rests steadily upon him. For the devotee, O Bhagavan, the restless movements of my mind finds coolness and order when placed before you. In your presence, agitation loses its force and calmness enters into my life. So in easier words, lasad bhala balendu, our mind constantly changes its momentum. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Morning I feel good, afternoon I feel different, evening I feel very different. Every day I feel like I'm a new person. My mind is changing so much. It's not in a good way. It's in an ignorant way. So I want this to come to a pause. Oh dear Shiva, save me. Let my mind be calm. Śrī Rādri Sādhanā. Just like snow falling upon the mountains, that all my thoughts become pure. Lasad bhala balendu. Just like the moon resting upon you, the half crescent moon. Similarly, please protect me whenever the mind is becoming attached to Rajas or Tamas, and please help me to bring it back to Sattva Guna. I bow down to you. I pray to you that I should not be ignorant. I should not be greedy. I should not be attached to the world. My only attachment now should be you alone. Kanthe bhujanga. Kanthe means his divine and beautiful throat. Shiva, who had taken the poison and held it on his throat during the Samudra Manthana. The poison was known as Halahala or Kalakuta. This poison was kept on him. If he had not drunk it, if he had not taken it, that would have destroyed the entire creation, the entire species in this world. All the Devatas, all the Asura, they all would have been destroyed if Shiva had not intervened. So in our life, Kanthe is those poisonous thoughts which we have harbored against people. Imagine, in this embodiment itself, what all we have thought. Oh, this person. I don't like this person. I don't like that person. I'm unhappy with my life. This family member. Kanthe is his throat for us. That halahala poison, which is being our negative karmas. In this embodiment itself, this is our condition. Imagine in our previous embodiment. When we don't have power, when we are weak, we are like this. When we have power, what would be the case? So we bow down to him. Kanthe for us is that poison which Shiva had consumed and kept it to save the world, and that poison halahala is our all past and present negative karmas which we have created. So we ask Shiva to save us just like he saved the world before Bhujanga comes and attacks us. Bhujanga is in fact snake which is on his beautiful neck. For us, Bhujanga is the reaction of that negative karma, which is very painful. As Kala, when time comes, everything is determined. How long I will be in this body, when this body will be dropped, what happens, who enters our life, who exits our life, what good enters, what bad enters. Bhujanga is that entry of Kala. Time. You did all this. Now it is time to face it. Don't run away, because we won't leave you. Like a snake running behind a mouse. Bhujanga, it comes to attack us. So we bow down to him, oh Shiva. Just the way you drank the poison and saved the world, now please help me. Destroy this poison which I have created in the form of negative karmas, negative actions, negative thoughts, negative emotions, which were all created in my mind, thinking, this is my family, this is my friend, this is a person I like, this I don't like, I will hurt. What all ignorance I've done. Before Bhujanga comes, save me. Kanthe Bhujanga. Why should you save me? Because I promise I will not again do such errors in my life. I'll never again do it. That's important. Asking him to destroy our negative karmas or sins does not give us an approval to go forth and commit more sins. Then Bhujanga will come and chase you. Just like a mouse is chased by a snake, you will be chased by a mouse, it runs. Or a frog. Runs, jumps, hops everywhere. And it tries to see, has the snake come? No, I am safe now. Exactly from back comes and catches you. That's what time is. So now, Shiva, we bow down to you. Before this Bhujanga comes because of my negative karmas of this and the previous embodiments, which is Kalakut or Halahala, save me. Kanthe Bhujanga. So this line is Lasad Bhala Balendu Kanthe Bhujanga. With our eyes closed, we pray. Oh Shiva, my dear Shiva, I accept that after doing all kinds of negative karmas in the world, I have now come to you. It was all because of my ignorance. Please forgive me. Help me to purify myself now. Like Śrī Rudrāṣṭakam Gauram Gabhiram. Like a snow falling upon a mountain which is pure. Help my thoughts to become pure otherwise. Kanthe Bhujanga. Halahala. In the form of my negative karmas is waiting to attack like Bhujanga, a snake's chasing a frog. So I bow down to you. So let us recite the whole verse now. Śrī Rādri Sādhanā Gauram Gabhiram. Śrī Rādri Sādhanā Gauram Gabhiram. Recite it along with me. Śrī Rādri Sādhanā Gauram Gabhiram. Mano Bhuta Koti Prabha Shri Shariram. Spuran Maulikallolini Charuganga. लसद्भालबालेन्दु Kanthe bhujanga. So the first prayer now with our eyes being closed. Oh Shiva, my dear Shiva, the one without whom I can no longer survive. Mano bhuta koti prabha shri shariram. Let my mind be attracted to you. I have been attracted to everyone in this world. None can be with me here forever. They all are fading away. They themselves are walking towards destruction. And how ignorant of me to be attracted to the world. People, things, situations. Now let me understand that you are the best attraction of all. Mano bhuta koti. Million times, you're trillion times better than everything else. I'm sorry, I made an error, Shiva, not trillion times, innumerable times. Times better than everything else. That is why we call you as Prabha Shri Shariram. My next prayer, we'll decide this again. Śrī Rādri Sādhanā Gauram Gabhiram. Mano bhuta koti prabha shri shariram. Sphuran maulikallolini charuganga. Lasadbhalabalendu Kanthe bhujanga. Now we close our eyes. We request him, O Divine Shiva, Śrī Rādri Sādhanā Gauram Gabhiram. Just like the snow falling upon a mountain, all the thoughts that enter into my life should be pure. That's my prayer. We'll decide again. Śrī Rādri Sādhanā Gauram Gabhiram. Mano bhuta koti prabha shri shariram. Sphuran maulikallolini charuganga. Lasadbhalabalendu Kanthe bhujanga. Now, a final prayer, dear Shiva. Kanthe bhujanga. Just like you held the poison halahala or kalakuta. and save the world. My halahala, hurting, harming, thinking ill, greed, hatred, are waiting to destroy me. Before Bhujanga comes, time, Bhujanga, in the form of my end or destruction, like a snake chasing a frog. I have just stopped for a second to look around, but Bhujanga is coming with its mighty fangs to eat me. Only you can save me. I bow down to you and I promise I will never again commit errors. I will only think of you alone. Kanthe Bhujanga. So thanking Shiva for this divine wisdom he gave us today. Let this always be in our mind. Om Tat Sat.